Hello chess fans, fans of the beautiful game. This is Chess to Impress with a second video on the Carlsen-Giri rivalry. Anish Giri for 5.5 years was the only top player with a positive score against Magnus Carlsen. In 2011 he won against Carlsen his first game as a 16-year-old, and he was able to keep that 1-0 advantage until July 2016. They played 15 games in that time period and they were all draws. Anish Giri is a very tough customer to beat. But then on the 22nd of July 2016 Carlsen had another go. He was white on that day, the 9th round of the Bilbao Masters final, and this is the position after 31. Rook a6 takes b6. Both parties have queen, rook, bishop and knight. Black, which is Giri, has a pawn extra, but white has slight pressure. His pieces are more active and he has some pressure against the black king, which is a little bit open. It's amazing how the f-pawn not being on f7 makes the king vulnerable. With rook takes b6, Carlsen is attacking the bishop on d6, and Giri played the strongest move, knight c4, protecting the bishop and also counter-attacking the rook. Carlsen played rook takes d6, strongest move, knight takes d6 and bishop takes d6, and he has won 2 pieces for a rook with this transaction. Giri took on e3 and he has now 2 pawns and a rook for bishop and knight. But again, Carlsen is slightly better because of his pressure, his active pieces and his pressure against the black king. Here Carlsen played bishop e5 with a very clear threat of checkmate on g7. Queen g6. And of course Carlsen does not want to trade queens. He played queen f4, attacking the rook. Rook e1 check, logical move, king f2 and rook a1. And again, objectively there's not so much going on, but Carlsen keeps trying, and of course this is the 36th move. Both parties were low on time. Queen d2 was Carlsen's move. Quite a good move, especially on the time pressure, because Giri's idea must have been rook a2 with some annoying pressure against white's king, but with queen d2 Carlsen simply takes that option out of the equation. And here Giri makes a mistake. He puts his rook on a8 and that is a very unfortunate square. Why is it a mistake? Because of the hit knight takes f5. And that piece cannot be taken, because then there's queen takes d5 check and the rook on a8 is falling. That's why a8 was such an unfortunate square. So white wins a pawn, and Giri played queen e6. Carlsen played queen g5, another strong move, because black cannot take on e5 because of knight h6 check, and the queen, black's queen is unprotected. White wins black's queen. Giri saw that, he played g6 against the checkmate threat on g7. And now comes Carlsen with 4 knight moves in a row and wins a pawn. He keeps harassing the black king. Knight h6, king f8, knight g4, king e8, knight f6 check, king f7 and knight takes h7. All white's pieces are squirming or swirling around black's king, and he's not going to survive this. Rook a4, and now Carlsen finishes the game with a beautiful shot. Queen d8, and he really had to calculate this very deeply and very accurately. If Giri now takes the piece, queen takes a5, then there's queen f8 and similar variations to which I'll show you in a minute. So I'll just show you the move that Giri made. He just gave a spite check on a2, and after king g1 he resigned. The a1 square is protected by the bishop, so there's no more checks, and he resigned because of, if he now takes the bishop, then there's the beautiful combination queen f8 check, king e6, queen e8 check, king d6, queen b8 check, king e6, and now the knight comes into play, knight f8 check. If the king goes to f5, then there's g4, king f4, and with knight takes g6 with a knight fork, white picks up black's queen. If the king goes to f6, then there is a similar move the other way, knight d7, also forking king and queen, picking up the queen and winning the game. A beautiful end to this game, and Carlsen's first win against Giri in a classical game. The score is now 1-1, and we're looking forward to future battles between these two young grandmasters. Hope you enjoyed this position. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. This is Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.